morning. This is Scorpio. Today's the 20th of July, and this morning I got up and watched Padraig Harrington win the British Open. Although, to be quite frank, golf just isn't the same without Tiger Woods around. But again, it was a great victory for Padraig Harrington. Also, I hope today to um, see the new Batman movie. I've heard quite a bit about it, and so I got some time on my hands today. I think I'll go check it out for myself, and I'll let you know how I think the movie uh, came off. Of course, to me, I stack now all movies up against the Lord of the Rings trilogy. To me, that was the greatest movie since the Ten Commandments. But I've heard quite a bit about Batman. Earlier today, I posted on my blog the interview with Dr. Hunter. Um, in fact, those of you on YouTube can also view the Dr. Hunter interview with Keith Oberman. All you got to do is go type in Dr. Hunter's name, and that will take you to the interview that they have posted on YouTube with Keith Oberman. It was a very interesting interview in that here you have a highly respected conservative. He served under the in the Bush administration. He was one of the leading architects of the contract with America that the Republicans put out. So here's a man, conservative, who's not to be taken too lightly. Yet, he is now, or he has voiced his opinion in an op-ed piece in the New York Daily News and publicly on TV, stated that he is going to support and vote for Barack Obama. Um, this is, to me, you see my Barack Obama sign there in the background. This, to me, points out what I feel is the most seminal meaning of the Barack Obama run for the presidency of the United States, in that you're now seeing a sea change in the mentality of America. And also why Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Michael Savage, and other talking heads on right-wing radio are stressing over Barack Obama, because they can see it. They know that if there is a dramatic sea change in the mentality of America, their little audiences and their little followers will go away. And then Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity and Michael Savage will have to go get a real job to earn a living. This sea change in American life is quite profound, and it's believe me, I know it's not an easy thing for many Americans to embrace Barack Obama. And if you are basically one who is Republican prone to begin with, it's not easy for you to push the lever for a Democrat. I know these things because, as I've mentioned on my blog several times, I grew up in a small town in Ohio, and there were only 35 black families in that town of about 35, 40,000. So I grew up around the mentality that was very narrow-minded. Good people, but they were very narrow-minded, very conservative. In fact, I recall as a child when my parents would take me to go visit my sisters, who were at that time were living in Columbus, Ohio, which is a large city. It was about 22 miles away from the town I grew up in. But anyway, whenever we would hit the city limits of Columbus, then my father would start telling everybody, my mother and myself, lock your doors, lock your doors. And I would say to my father, why? Well, got a lot of black people up here, And you know how black people steal. Now, am I saying my father was a racist against his own people? No. That was just the general attitude that was promoted in my small town in Ohio, that we just more or less accepted, even about our own people. Also, I recall that when I would get around blacks in Columbus, Ohio, or would listen to so-called black music, I couldn't understand a word they were saying. I did not understand a word my people were saying. Why? Because I grew up listening and hearing only white people talk, listening to how white people express things. So to me, so for me to be around black folk who had a different style of music, who had certain um, used a certain vernacular in a way that I was not used to hearing, it was strange to me. It was frightening to me. And that's why when I got around 16, 15 or 16, I decided I had to get out of this town. And that's why I went to a predominantly black university to do my undergraduate work, Central State University, as a matter of fact. Fine school. But anyway, I'm saying that to say that when cats like Larry Hunter, Dr. Larry Hunter, begin to come forward and express their reasoned opinion as to why Barack Obama is best for this nation at this particular time, it sends earthquakes of fear within cats like Rush Limbaugh, cats like Sean Hannity, cats like Michael Savage, because they can see this thing slipping away from them. They can see that fear and ignorance just may not carry it in America any longer. And to be quite truthful, we've seen how during the last 8 years of the Bush administration, when a country relies upon fear and hate and intolerance, it can result in some very nasty things from the people that promote it. On my my blog, and also I did this during my message boards. This is one of the themes that I always try to express. Don't let bigotry and hatred and intolerance control your reason, cloud your reason. We're living in a world that is diverse. Jewish opinions are as legitimate as Christian. Islamic opinions are as legitimate as Jewish. We live in a worldwide village, and this idea that we can go around the world and say our way or the highway, or have this attitude in foreign policy that either you're with us or against us, it's almost suicidal. And I think that one reason that Barack Obama will be such a huge figure next week among Europeans is the fact that this is a man who, like John F. Kennedy before him, adopted the philosophy of embracing mankind. Embracing mankind. In fact, the only thing that keeps me sane in the world that I grew up is the belief is my belief that humanity is always on an upward spiral. Of course, we revert back from time to time, but humanity is always on an upward spiral to God. And no matter what, we're going there. Some of us are going to go there kicking and screaming every step of the way, but upward we go. Anyway, I hope you get a chance to see the Larry Hunt